Greetings all. Peace, love, and strength. Nihas. Welcome to the finale of Holistic Lifestyles with Master Ka. Our special guest today is no other than Master Ka. And today I wanted to discuss the topic of food and consciousness slash information. It is my revelation, my truth, that food is a big deal. And because of that neglect, and when I say we, I mean all of us, 'cause all of us are eating. We have been pushed in directions known and unknown to us because of the element of food. And food is information, food is consciousness. And if you're here watching me now, then you are most likely in a awareness where you are searching and diving deeper into your purpose and where you hear and all these things. So you're in the realm of this thought, and food is a big deal. And there's one big connection. I'm not even going to waste a lot of time on this one. There's a big connection if you look towards all of the quote unquote spiritual teachers across the globe. There's one big defining element that is shown, and that is their diet. And you will find, and these are people that we look towards for advice, spiritually, guidance. So it means something. It means that we regard these people as, as who they are, and tapping into spirit and guiding us in what they believe to be the true way. And I believe there's truth in everything, and everybody's speaking their truth. But I've also seen the reality of where everyone is going towards. There seems to be a oneness to where we're all going to. And there's phases where you can see persons who have changed their diet over the past couple of years or months. We can see it all across the globe. You can see it. And with those changes that they have made in their diets alone, they have seen changes in their consciousness, in the way they think about things, in the way they do things. So that in itself is a direct link to show where we can be with our consciousness and where we are currently with our consciousness. And one of the main elements of the food is it food that you're eating? We need now to identify what food is. I think that's the first thing that we need to understand, however you want to put it. And we as quote unquote human beings, everyone has a different philosophy as to who we are, where we come from, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to break it down really naturally, because I like to come from the perspective of nature, because nature really shows us everything, and it makes it pretty convincing and obvious when you observe nature what truth is. As a baby, you come into this reality and you get your food from your mother. She feeds you with her life force, and that is your food. You know this because it naturally occurs. It naturally occurs. In nature, as a human being, you have none of these technologies that we have now currently. You just have you and nature. Breaking it down really simple. Simple, 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 simple. You have wild animals around you. You have no tools, no weapons, because you know of such. You don't know of these things. You only know what you see in front of you. Wild animals, fruit trees, what we may perceive as vegetables on the ground, and so on and so forth. You see lots of colors. What are you going to be drawn to? You are hungry. What are you going to be drawn to? You are starving. What are you going to be naturally inclined to consume? If we are eating food. Now I'm speaking about people who are eating food. With all due respect to the breatharian movement, I think we all started with eating food, so we need to address eating food first. What is food is the first question we need to ask. And when we understand what food is, then everything else comes into alignment. Because I am of the opinion, and of the very strong opinion, that if you are not eating or consuming the correct fuel for your vessel, then your vessel is not operating at its maximum potential. And that also is connected to where you think and everything that you do in your general life. So you're not doing those things at your maximum because you're not thinking the way that you possibly your maximum capacity, and so on and so forth. That goes back to physical parameters as well, what you can do physically because you're not taking in the right fuel. So there's a obvious connection there as far as food is concerned. Now, what is real food? Mother Nature pushes out these things out of the ground, and it is obvious that we can consume these things naturally. We, as human beings, have started cultivating so on and so forth, and we're mass producing food. But with mass production comes a whole mix of influx of people's energies as well. And when you're eating food, you're not just eating the plant, you're taking in the energies of all the processes that it went through before it got to you. So that's another thing we need to understand, and start bringing food closer to home, where we know the energies that are being used around our food. Because it's a big deal. Energy is real. Energy is real. And we are living in a world where we know this. We're doing energy work. People are doing Reiki. It's a real thing. So what is food? For me personally, you go to nature. It is an obvious thing. We are not built biologically to run after an animal, take it down, and consume it for food. Even the whole process of thinking that, it doesn't fit well. You have to tear this animal apart and consume its blood and everything else. And that is the natural way it would have went. Because you haven't discovered fire either. Alright? So let's be real about this situation. We are not carnivores. And I don't care who say otherwise. But if it feels natural for you, then you are. Simply put. So when we put the actual fuel in our bodies, then we start to become what or who we actually are. And that's the issue that we are having now amongst everyone as far as I am concerned. Because I see how when I consume various or different types of foods, because I've done the experiments on my own, and that's why I encourage everyone else to do as well. Because the only way you are actually going to know what the truth is when you go through that reality. And we're going to have to stop listening to people giving us their opinions on things they've never, ever, ever experienced, because then it can't be a reality for them. It's an opinion. Reality is truth that you have lived. And that's where you're going to find your truth. We are natural beings, and we should be taking in and consuming foods that are natural in their origin. And if they're not natural foods in their origin, then our bodies are not responding the way they need to. And that brings us to how food is weaponized against people in general, knowingly or unknowingly. Because if you're taking in foods that are not your foods, then you possibly can be controlled, because then your consciousness is not where it's supposed to be. And this is another reality. It's not a myth. People are controlled in this world. We're keeping it real here, alright? And we owe it to ourselves to find out more about ourselves and our bodies, so that we can do best for ourselves, and stop making excuses and waiting for other people to come and help us. And I want to clarify that the reason I did and started doing these shows was to bring awareness to the masses here in the Caribbean, in Barbados, where I live, about the modalities that are available to you for healing. And those who know me know I'm not big on the medical field. I am big on nature, and I believe in my being. I believe in I self, and I see the capabilities in I self, and I know the power that I hold within I, because I've tested myself. That's why I call myself master. I need no one to label me. I am. So when we take back our power, no one can enslave us. So food is the first thing for me. And that's why I try to get across this message, because once persons have gone to what food is for them, and for me it is plant-based first. That's what we are biologically, scientifically shown. Don't make excuses. Ask yourself why. If what I am saying is triggering you, why? You know, why can't you let go of that pork chop? Why can't you let go? Why is it? There's a reason. Because it is addictive, one, and we're also dealing with consciousness. And when you're consuming animal flesh, you're consuming energy, and no one wants to be killed, and let's be real about it. So when an animal dies, it dies in fear, and fear is a frequency and it's an energy, and you take that on, whether you overstand that or not. Everything is energy. This wall behind me is energy. It may not be moving, but it is energy. So everything is energy. And when we become more energy conscious, and we are, because this is the world that we're living in now, and the change is here, the reality is here, you're either going to step into this reality or you're going to leave this reality. And that's another reality. The frequency has changed. And to tap into that frequency, you need to start feeding your body the real foods. And I might start going off topic a bit, but this is really passionate. This is a passionate thing for me. And this whole COVID thing is a thing. We need to take back our power. You know, you get sick in the olden days, Your grandmother will give you some herbal something or whatever the case is, and you're good. Boom. Why has that changed? It hasn't changed for me. I've hardly been sick. The last time I have been sick, and I was really sick, I can tell you, people were really concerned, wanted me to go to the doctor and so on and so forth. But for me personally, the doctor has nothing for me because I believe in myself. I know the possibility, the healing qualities of this body. I want to be here. That's the most important thing. Do you want to be here? If you believe that and you know yourself, there's nothing can take you out of this place. Nothing. Nothing. But there's a foundation that needs to be sorted. Food. Because if you're not eating right, there's a high percentage chance that you are not thinking right. Food for thought. So the issue of food is a big deal. And our governments need to start looking at these things if they really truly care about their people. Food would be addressed and people will be eating what is for them. If the people are not eating what is for them, the enslaved and slavery is a real thing. All we enslaved in some way or fashion. But we all can break free. We have those possibilities because we are. We are. We just being tricked. So I encourage everyone to start doing some cleaning because essentially that's what it's all about. When you start cleaning your body, you become what you are. You remove the garbage. You remove the toxins. If you are someone who regards yourself as a spiritual being and you don't see the connection to food and spirituality, then you are not sure. I say that without apology. I am God. I am everything and everything is I. Word became flesh. The scriptures, all these things be telling the peoples. I ain't giving nobody my power. I am. I worship no man either. I worship I. Get it straight. I am no Rastafarian. Let me get that out of the way as well. I am a spiritual being. I have no religion. I am. I am. And I fear nothing. And that's how we need to be, because this is, if we love ourselves, we have to be that way. We are divine beings. And now, I'm speaking to people with this color skin, because it's a big deal. People of this color skin have been disadvantaged for too long. But the people with this skin gotta wake up themselves. But start with the food, and you will start to wake up yourself. You don't need no guru. You are the guru. And that's one thing that I learned. All the gurus got problems and issues. All of them. So you gotta find the truth for yourself. There are guides out here, people to guide you. And everybody got truth. But you gotta find the truth for yourself. But the foundation is the food. That is my experience, that's my truth, that's my reality. I've seen it for myself. So we gotta stop fooling ourselves. And understand the power of the mind. How powerful we really truly are. I had a man, a god, on this show who eats no food, drinks no drink, drinks no water. How is that possible? He ain't the only person though. He's not the only one. We need to see us for what we are. If you understand the power of your mind, then what can you not do? So these are the possibilities that are available to us if we truly go into ourselves and believe. The same man who does not eat food or drink or so on and so forth had to go through the process of leaving food alone. That alone should speak volumes to what food is, what it can do and what it can do, and the positions it has in our lives. It has a place in our lives. But then there's obviously, clearly, if it's for you, a time where it doesn't have to be a reality in your life. This is the world we are living in. This is the golden age. We're going to start seeing things you never thought possible. Because people are starting to believe and know. The no more belief is knowing. This is the age of knowing. You are powerful beings. Know thyself. Fear nothing, no one. Love yourself. If you love yourself, you will feed yourself with what you're supposed to eat. Find out, make it your mission. And then nothing can touch you, I guarantee you. This has been a journey for me, and there's been ups and downs like everything else in this life. And because you have maybe come off of certain foods and so on and so forth, it doesn't make you a better person than anybody else. It just makes you more aware. That's another reality. Because people have done such amazing things and so on, at the end of the day, you still have a choice to make. And the people who are running this world know these things. They do. But they're not quote unquote good people, but they have the knowledge. So I think it's important that we empower ourselves with knowledge if we are seeking freedom, and also be open to things that we weren't privy to before, because it's clear that we're evolving in our awareness, consciousness. Things are changing, so be open. The stage that you were in now, 20 years ago, you're not now, and it's always going to evolve in that way. So be open to the change, because change is here whether you want it or not. I'll just open the floor if anyone wants to ask anything. I feel as if I've released everything I needed to say, and then I'll go from there. But yeah, this has been very important for me. I know we all are here with purposes, and we've been distracted from our purposes with this fake world we live in. And it's still the world, but at the end of the day, there's a foundation that we're missing, in my eyes. Anyways, who are you? Why are you here? Keep asking. But don't keep asking and keep consuming poison, because the poison will corrupt your body and you will never find the answer, or there are less chances of you finding the answer. Should I say? Yes? If you take in poison, there's only one outcome at the end of that. So stop taking in poison, cleanse your body, and everything shall reveal itself. You will need no guru, no one to say anything to you. because everything is within you. The first person to write a book did not have a book. The information came from within, and it's within all of us. Peace, love, and strength. Nihas. One love. Thank you for joining me. Out and gone. Yes, sir.